Yo, 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 yo. Testing, testing. Yo, yo, testing, testing. Yo, yo, testing, testing. Yo, yo, testing, testing. Yo, yo. Yo, 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 yo. I'm just testing out the live right now. I'm just trying to see how the audio goes into that. How the audio is received. Okay. Okay, right. Let me see. Yo, testing, testing. So first time going live on the channel. I'm just trying to see something to give the Garage Report crew a behind the scenes of how I do my voiceover section. I'm just about to go and voice the section for turn it off. Just about to go forward to do the voiceover section. For those that know, for the Garage Report, welcome along to the program. It's the Pirate Chronicles series channel. This is the main multimedia platform, of course, with yours truly, Madness KMA. And I thought to myself, you know, this is another good example of me connecting more with the fans and supporters right here on the channel. And a good way to do it is to go live, of course. So I've never done it before, to go live on this channel itself. I've done it on my other music channel, which is Madness KMA, the music channel, which is the DJ mixes and whatnot. But this is just giving you an insight to go behind the scenes to see how I do it. You know, when I do that part and I say Garage Report, blah, 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 and I say to find out more about the artist, voiceover section. Right, I'm about to do the voiceover section now, and you can hear it behind the scenes. And like I've said before, for those that join on to become members, you can become a member of the team, join the team, and then you'll be able to see the behind the scene bloopers and those sort of things, because it's not just straight I do it and it's a one-time thing. I'm human. I get it right. Okay. Big up to Bernie Love. Enough respects. Yeah, man. Share out the live. Is that what they say on YouTube? You share out the live. Is it like, you know, the other platforms, TT and Insta? I don't know. I'm just getting to learn it to get more interactive with you, the supporters right here. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a new behind the scenes features as well, which is going to be members only that can see that, because I do make mistakes and I cover it up within my edits. So you wouldn't actually know. Sometimes I leave them in there for fun. And then we could take it from there to see what's going on, right? But just to go behind the scenes to do my voiceover for this week's episode. And this is what I do. It's like on a Monday or sometimes on a Saturday on the weekend, I would get it early to do it. But I have to sit down and do the voiceover section first, make sure that's produced. And then I set up the cameras around me. And I might even let you see all of that sort of stuff behind the scenes. And then I put it all together. Like I've said before as well, Report Family, it's unscripted. It's how I do the episodes. It's because I was fortunate enough to be in the industry from the beginning. I say that so many times as well. I probably get on your nerves. But it's true. And then what I do is I use that information that I have with the passion that I had from back then in the early 90s when I started off in House and Garage at 1993. And then I could use that to emulate and try and paint a picture of what I saw, how it was from my perspective, and being apart from a part of the London award-winning station Freak, then we was right there on the inception. So it's a point that I can share that with you, and that's what I do. All right, okay, cool. Let me go into it and let's see what happens. You know, I might keep it up there. If it's rubbish, I'll take it down. But anyway, so let me get my. This is the only part that does have a script, which is the voiceover section. And you'll be able to hear the mistakes that I make, if I make any, because I might not, because I know you're watching, right? Okay, cool. Let me see. That's my computer. Just line that up. Yo, testing. Right, okay. Yeah. Testing. All right, let me see. Testing. Take one. Garage Report voiceover, season 2. This week features another producer that helped influence the scene from the very beginning, from the United States of America. It's MK, Mark Kinchen. Mark Kinchen, better known simply as MK, is a true pioneer of the house music scene. Born in Detroit, MK brought a new flavor to the early 90s dance scene, blending soulful vocals, deep bass lines, and infectious piano hooks to create a sound of his own. See what I mean? It's boring, right? But I'll make it sound something different when it's all put together. His groundbreaking tracks like Burning, Always, featuring Elena, and Somebody New became underground anthems, not just in the US, but across the Atlantic, inspiring a new generation of UK DJs and producers from its inception. MK's signature style, chopped up vocals, heavy grooves and rolling beats was very much unique for its time. It laid the foundation and a big inspiration for the birth of UK house and garage. His dub of Nightcrawlers, Push the Feeling, was a game changer, dominating clubs, pirate radio, and the charts, becoming one of the most influential dance records of the decade, and still to this day. In a time when house music was evolving fast, MK bridged the gap between deep house and a new, raw, more soulful UK sound. His remixes, dubs, and original productions shaped the DNA of UK house and garage, inspiring legends like Tough Jam, Todd Edwards, MJ Cole, Artful Dodger, and more, setting the blueprint for the future with his influence on British club culture. Today, MK remains a global icon, but for true heads, his early 90s work will always be remembered as a spark that lit up the UK underground forever, changing the sound of house and garage music, which is why today On the Garage Report, we induct him into the UK Garage Hall of Fame. Boom. Boom. Take one. Garage Report voiceover, season 2. Garage Report voiceover, season 2. This week features like I said, it is a boring process, but it has to be done before I move any further. Get all the edits out. This week, season 2. This week features another producer that helped influence the scene from the very beginning. Beginning from the United States of America. It's a good chance for you not to see America. It's MK. To hear how I do it. It's MK. Mark Chen. Now, big up MK. I do hope I pronounced that right. You know, we in the UK just add our own. It's MK, Mark Chen. Mark Chen, better known simply as MK, is a true pioneer. All right, once I get that start there, then I like to. That is the hard drive that you can hear. Let's choose this one. And I like to get a music track together, or one of them from his wide catalogue. And this is why I always say that thing, and I say, oh, you know, it was so hard to choose, and I had to go through the wide catalogue, because it's true. So then I'll start it off like this. I always like to give a teaser of the actual artist's style, so you know. Right, let's see. Garage Report voiceover, season 2. This week features. It's too loud. Garage Report voiceover, season 2. This week features another producer that helped influence the scene from the very beginning, from the United States of America. So from there, I'll probably chop that to enhance. Slow that down. Slow that down. And then let's see. Scene from the very beginning, from the United States of America. It's MK, Mark Chen. Mark Chen. And then boom with the next one. It's just this one. And then it's hard as well, because I always try and remember I've got to use for my chosen 4 as well, tracks that I know people will know, or remind people of real anthems from back then. Let's see. Mark Chen. Okay, cool. United States of America. It's MK, Mark Chen. Mark Chen, better known simply as MK, is a true pioneer of that. Turn it down. All right, cool. So, need something to translate in there, and then bring that forward. Sounds like States of America. It's MK, Mark Kin-chen. Mark Kin-chen, better known simply as MK, is a true pioneer of the house music scene. Born in Detroit, MK brought a new... What you have to do is take out all the gaps. House music scene. Born in Detroit, MK brought... Detroit, MK brought a new flavor to the early 90s dance scene. MK, bad boy, producer, man. Dance scene, blended soulful vocals, deep bass line. When I was getting all his catalogue together from my different folders and just realizing the catalogue of music is vocals, deep bass lines, and infectious piano hooks to create a sound of his own. Forward. Hooks to create a sound of his own. Sound of his own. See what I mean? It's boring, right? But I'll make it sound something different. Obviously, cut that out. Hooks to create a sound of his own. His groundbreaking tracks like Burning. That one's obviously got to get featured. Burning, Always as well, just reminding me of, oh man, seriously, some amazing music. All right, let's bring that forward. Let's see. It's like Burning, Always, featuring Elena and Somebody New, became underground anthems. Don't worry, I'll jazz it all up and make it sound more hype. Anthems, not just in the US, but across the Atlantic, inspiring a new Sometimes less is more when you try and do too much just in the voiceover section. I want people to listen. The Atlantic, inspiring a new generation of UK DJs and producers from its inception. What's that? From its inception. That sounded good the way it ended there. DJs and producers. MK signature style. That volume needs to go down a bit though. Or leave it. MK's from there. Slice and turn it down. MK's signature style. MK's signature style, chopped up vocal. Style, chopped up vocals, heavy grooves and rolling beats was very... Beats was very much unique for its time. Unique for its time. Right, I need a switch here. Was very much unique for... Cut. Okay. Go back to my library. This one. Jam and Spoon. Sure, that's got a nice intro. Right, I can already see that that's super loud. Unique for its time. Was very much unique for its... Much unique for its time. much unique for its time. It laid the foundation and a big foundation and a big inspiration. For the birth of UK house and garage. This one is again gonna top the bill for the US influence that they get. In garage, his dub of night. His dub of Nightcrawlers push the feeling. Push the Feeling was a game changer, dominating clubs, pirate radio, and the charts, becoming one of the most influential dance records of the decade, and still to this day. That is true. For those that know the Nightcrawlers anthem, I even forgot that it was MK on the mix. Pull those closer. Of the decade, and still to this day. In a time when house music was evolving fast, MK bridged the gap between deep house. What's going on, chat? Let me know that you're there, who is there, so I can see you. It's not like TikTok where you can see the names pop up. You have to give me a holler. Deep house and a new, raw, more soulful UK sound. Soulful UK sound. His remixes, dubs, and original productions. Insight from behind the scenes. I haven't got the OBS hooked up so you can see the screen of what I'm doing. Unless I point it at it, but that's bangarang. Dubs and original productions shaped the DNA. Certainly did. The DNA of UK house and garage. Right. Yes. And garage, inspiring legends like Tough Jam, Todd Edwards, MJ Cole, and many others. I've just named the main people that, main branded DJs, MC producers. Just checking out this live. I'm doing a live for the first time to show you behind the scenes. A boring procedure, but this is what I have to go through every time I do an episode. I've got to do the voiceover section. Voiceover. Todd Edwards, MJ Cole, Artful Dodger, and more. Setting the blueprint for the future. Good to leave them gaps in there sometimes because it's the blueprint for the future. For the future, with his influence on British club culture. On British club culture. So funny. I voiced it, I've done it, I've repeated it again because I wasn't sure. Say that again. Influence on British club culture. It's British, it sounds funny. Culture. Today, MK remains a global icon, but for true heads, his early 90s work will always be remembered as a spark that lit up the UK underground forever, changing the sound. See what I mean? If you saw me voicing it earlier, then you'd see how boring the procedure is, but then I've got to do this part. Oh, what are you doing? To clean it up, bring it forward. A lot of people think that I just run it off one time, one take. I used to do that, but that's where I learned my skills from back in the 90s when I used to do it on tape cassette. So we just run it off one time, one speed. The ground forever, changing the sound of house and garage music, which is why today on the Garage Report we induct him into the UK Garage Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Okay, yeah. Dash that and add a, let's see, 2 seconds there. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Right, so that's the dry, or kind of dry version. Now, I've got to know how to pronounce your name because you're always a Report family member that's always in the comments with the long talk paragraphs, which I appreciate. I really appreciate it because it's like, you know, you're paying attention, you're a music fan, you're a music lover of the sound, and you respect the show. Is it Audun? Audun? Because I'm thinking Audi, A-U-D, Audun. Audun. Is it? I don't know. Is that right? Big ups to the 95 North shout out. Yeah, man. Listen, I have to always connect with the producers as well if I can, and to let them know of seriously, you know, us in the UK loved your sound, and it was a big influence to us, and I will not deny that. That's why I always try and highlight to make them know, so they can feel the greatness that they are actually are, because you cannot deny it that they were a big influence on our sound, on our music. So 95 North, I hope you seen it what I did today with Doug Smith, aka Smitty from 95 North, who did the voiceover for me and sent that across to say he didn't even realize that they influenced the UK the way they did. And I said, you see what I mean? Now, this is what I'm talking about, right? That's the importance of the Garage Report sound. It's the importance of the Garage Report reporting the highlight the great sounds of the past, and also in these sections of these episodes that I'm doing here on the Garage Report, it's the influences, the grassroots, where that influence came from that we all created and made our own sound from. Do you know what I mean? So that's what's happening. That's what's up. Oh, wicked, Aldan. It sounds like a Shaolin temple, or you know, someone from the Shaolin. You know what I mean? Like a kung fu movie. Many English speakers say Odin. Well, I don't know where they go. I don't know. I just thought Audi. I'm a fan of Audi. So AUD. I was thinking, all right, Ow. If it had an I D, so Auden. Yeah, big up yourself, man. Where are you located again? Is it Norway? I'm trying to get to learn the Report family. This is why I'm doing the behind the scenes. I know. It's going to grow, though. It's going to grow. You know what it is? It's a unique niche market, because what we know as House and Garage fans, it's grown to a massive proportions. However, I just need the support of the Report family, which you do and stuff like that within the comment section. And it helps when people share out the videos, also when people get interactive, and you know, you know what it is as well. You need some big influencers to share it out and do the comments and whatever it is. Because if I say that I wasn't doing it, and I don't care about the likes and the followers and all that, no, that's a lie. As a YouTuber, you do care about how many people are following, how many people are subscribing, how many people pushing out the videos, clipping the videos. Because I do see it out there as well when I'm scrolling on Facebook or something, and I'll say, hey, that's my video. Wait, hold on, that's not my page. So how come they didn't tag me in? I don't understand that. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's a mutual respect when people do that. If you're sharing out your videos, then just tag my name so people know the source to come through. Because what I have understood with all the lessons and tutorials that I get into on YouTube, to find out more about what to do, then it's the case of, you know, you learn more, every episode, I always say it as well in the Garage Report episodes, I learn more. I learn every time. And self-taught with what I'm doing, apart from when I do the tutorials on YouTube to see what else is out there, and how can I better doing what I'm doing. But the audience, it needs to grow, man. And the algorithm on YouTube is so hard. But here's what I got with my issues, report family, right? You get thousands of views on Instagram. Instagram, I would say, is one of my most, where I get most on that platform, right? Interactions. And then I would say to people over and over and over again, like a broken record, get it? Music, because DJ, broken record. Anyway, and I would say to them, like a broken record, go over to YouTube and watch the full video. Do you know how many people say to me, oh, there's a full video? I thought it was just the Madify clips that I put out. No, I put it clearly on there and say, Garage Report trailer. I say trailer, it's my Madify versions, right? And then it's the case of how do they interact and get over here? Loads of people reply and say, oh, I don't go on YouTube. Huh? I'm like, what do you mean you don't go on YouTube? Okay, cool. I thought YouTube is like today's modern day TV, because it is for me. That's what I watch. I don't really watch television, to say that the regular channels and that sort of a thing, and that's it. It's hard to get people over this side, but what I need is for every one of you as the Report family to help me out, to push it out there, to help share it. If you know of garage fans, and obviously I do the Jungle Report as well, so if you're a jungle drum and bass fan, go to the playlist section and check out the Jungle Report. You can share that with your peoples and let them know that Madness does it different. Do you know what I mean? Yes, yeah. Well, yeah, it's the social media of today. And it's our TV network of today. And I call it like a pirate radio. My Report family will know. I say it all the time. It's like the pirate radio of today. Okay, we had pirate radio stations before us. It was sound system culture. They had the actual speakers and sound system that they would go up and down the country and fly abroad. And in all different countries, it was the same thing that represented for sound system culture. We had pirate radio. This is today's pirate radio. Cool. That's facts, right? But yeah, YouTube it's hard to cross over. Trust me, with a niche market that I'm pushing, the algorithm sometimes picks up on it, but it's still in the hundreds as it is today. It's not going over the thousands as yet. And it's not because of the content. I know the content is good and informative for garage fans. But I'll give you another example. A couple years ago, I think it was, DJ Spoonie teamed up with Nene from Body Groove Architects, and they curated a 30-year showcase with Mobo Awards, right? When they did that, I knew that I knew that they was doing a performance. So when it came on, I was lucky to catch it actually on the TV. I was watching it at that time. No, it wasn't on TV, it was on YouTube. And I screen recorded it, and then I put it straight on TikTok, unedited straight away. I put it on TikTok. And within a day or two, I reached 600,000 views, right? It was my most popular video ever when it comes to garage, right? And the thousands and thousands, it's still pinned on my top page on TikTok. But see, if I said to you, go over to TikTok, you would probably say, I don't go over there if you're not a fan of TikTok. But I had it on that channel, and it's still pinned on the page on my Madness KMA page on TT. And it still gets comments to this day. Thousands of comments, right? And you would expect that. It's genuine 600,000 plus views. And then what they said was, I didn't even know garage was still existing. I was like, what? What are you talking about? You did not know that garage was still in existence. There's festivals. There's all these other things that go on, but you didn't know that garage was still about. Wow. But what I actually realized is the demographic of people, not just on my page or my accounts, is old school, because I can see it in the analytics when I go through to it on YouTube, is old school followers, like 35 to about 55. 35 to 55 is my demographic of listeners and viewers. So you can understand that when people even do watch the program, they say, when I say to them, and you've heard me say this before, why don't you leave me a comment? It helps the algorithm. It picks up more traction for the channel. They would say, I don't do that. And I'll say, yeah, but I thought you said you're supporting me. And they say, yeah, man, I love what you do, man. And this is male and females. I love what you do, Madness. It really pushes out the garage culture. And we didn't know that. And I always try to use that as an underlying statement to what I do. The Garage Report separates the facts from fiction. And it's the fact that it tells the story along a timeline of greatness. But all of us are older now. Then you realize again, your fan base, your supporters, we're all older. Parents, married, grandchildren, the lot. So you ain't in tuned with the 90s of garage music when you used to go raving. You don't do that anymore. So you're switched off to that world. And now I understood, okay, this was different because I saw it from that mobile performance. And like I said, 600,000 views, and it was hundreds, thousands of comments. And a lot of them were saying the same. I wish there was events like this, playing this type of music on stage. I was like, But yes, there is, though. All right, they may not be as good as the 90s and will never, ever be as good as the 90s. But, you know, there are events out there that's garage. There are big festivals. There is Garage Nation. There is 51st State that does Back to 95 10. And there's other, festivals up and down the country. What do you mean you didn't know? So it got me to understand. Then I thought, yeah, but wouldn't that mean that they will be able to watch the program, to reminisce? And when they do catch on to it, it's going to take time. It's a process. Just ride with me, right? They will catch on to it eventually and say, I didn't know that. And then the reason why I know that is because the analytics sides, when I analyze the channel, they are starting to go back into season 1 of the Garage Report. And then I'm seeing comments on older videos that was from last year in season 1. And I'm like, how come they? Oh, okay, they're watching the old stuff now. Then I see the reoccurring people coming back that are watching the current series, season 2, and then they start going back and saying, "Oh my God, there's a whole season 1 that I didn't know about." Do you know what I mean? So it's the case of ride with me, man. Ride with me because we'll get there in the end. Alden, we say. Your vids are top notch and more than a cut above the rest, I should say. Almost regardless of what content is very high end for what it is. Oh, thanks, man. Hey, you know what? I say it all the time. I just practice every video that I do. I'm coming up with something new. I see problems all the time because I'm an over perfectionist when it comes to this thing and I just want to get it right. And with the equipment that I do have, I try and make it the best that I can. You know what I mean? I'm not, got big camera crew and editors and sound man and all that. It's just one man that does the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just learning. I'm learning. Can't stand it. Steve, big up Steve. He says, can't stand it when I tell people I'm a garage head and they think I'm just about... And there's the other thing. What I'm trying to teach, right, with my knowledge is to show people, do you know that there was a pre-98? You might know the event Back to 95, but do you know there was a pre-95? We started off in 1993. There was a whole 2 years before Back to 95 era where you missed out on some greatness. So this is why I'm touching on 95 North, Todd Edwards the week before that, and now today, MK. It's coming out in Wednesday's episodes. And Mark Kinchen was another one that was a pillar from Detroit, USA, and his sound, if you're not familiar to it, then you will listen and say, oh, and that's what I try and do. I join the dots so people can understand to say, oh, I get what he means. And I've got receipts to show a timeline of what people should know about. And if you did know about flowers and this sort of things, and I hear you right, Steve, because so many people say, when I say to them, oh, UK garage, they say, oh yeah, all that's so solid, all that stuff. But yes, big up So Solid, maximum boost. All of the members of So Solid because they did an amazing thing in their time. However, there was a whole generation before that. You know what else I see as well in the documentaries that are out there? Again, I try and change the narrative, separating the facts from the fiction. When they say about, the dress code. The garage culture was about Moschino, Versace, popping bottles and champagne and all that. Okay, here's the truth. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Pre 98 and all that type of style, when it's 97, it started to go a bit that way. 97, right? Because I believe it was about them sort of times when Heartless Crew started coming to prominence, and then they started wearing those clothes, and then the other members started to follow and that sort of thing, and then it became the go-to for wearing Moschino suits and Versace and D&G, and I didn't think D&G was about them, but you know what I mean. Those sort of styles came in well later, but there was a whole generation before that. We dressed up in a certain way. Yes, we had garage culture in a certain way, but we was the pirate generation. So we built the scene to what it was, from the small clubs. You hear me talk about it so many times, from the small clubs, and then it went to the bigger clubs, and we was there at the beginning. So there was no Moschino, there was none of them clothes. They weren't even about them times there to say that they were the go-to clothes. And it was also the thing of champagne and all that thing. Yeah, you did have that kind of lifestyle, but it wasn't prominent. People just drank beers and normal drinks, brandy and rum and coke and those sort of things. It was just regular. But the culture of that time that we lived, slept and breathed was the best time ever. Remember, there was no social media, no mobile phones that had cameras, so we didn't care about. We was just engulfed in the moment, and that was the garage culture that I try and put across in the Garage Report. Anyway, listen, it's me there just talking away with you guys. See, that's how you can get caught up in your phone, as to say you just get buried in your phone. Lenny D and Tommy Musto, The Morning After is a jam. Yes. You know tunes, man. I know you know tunes, because every time in your comments you always talk about, things of substantial information, which is good. Let's play this back real quick and see how we're getting on.
Garage Report voiceover season 2 this week features another producer that helped influence the scene from the very beginning, from the United States of scene from the very beginning. Garage Report voiceover season 2 this week features another producer that helped influence the scene from the very beginning, from the United States of America. It's MK, Mark Kinchen. Mark Kinchen, better known simply as MK, is a true pioneer of the house music scene. Born in Detroit, MK brought a new flavor to the early 90s dance scene, blending soulful vocals, deep bass lines, and infectious piano hooks to create a sound of his own. His groundbreaking tracks like Burning, Always, featuring Elena and Somebody New, became underground anthems, not just in the US, but across the Atlantic, inspiring a new generation of UK DJs and producers. MK's signature style, chopped up vocals, heavy grooves and rolling beats was very much unique for its time. It laid the foundation and a big inspiration for the birth of UK house and garage. His dub of Nightcrawlers, Push the Feeling was a game changer, dominating clubs, pirate radio and the charts, becoming one of the most influential dance records of the decade, and still to this day. In a time when house music was evolving fast, MK bridged the gap between deep house and a new, raw, more soulful UK sound. His remixes, dubs, and original productions shaped the DNA of UK house and garage, inspiring legends like Tough Jam, Todd Edwards, MJ Cole, Artful Dodger, and more, setting the blueprint for the future with his influence on British club culture. Today, MK remains a global icon, but for true heads, his early 90s work will always be remembered as a spark that lit up the UK underground forever, changing the sound of house and garage music, which is why today on the Garage Report we induct him into the UK Garage Hall of Fame.
That's what I do, the clapping part. Yeah, enough respect. Thanks for joining me today. This is my first ever live on the channel, and just giving you an insight and behind the scenes of how I actually do it. When I get more cameras, when I get more viewers and subscribers, and the adverts are fully functional on the channel, then I will buy some more things, and then you can see more of how it goes. But you know what I mean? Like I said, I give thanks. It really does mean a lot to me, because I put a lot of work into what I do each week to get the show on time. Every Tuesday you get the Madify sections, the Madify ones that you see on Instagram, TikTok, and on the shorts right here on YouTube, Facebook, all across the road, Threads. And then by Wednesday you have the episode. So I film it now, which is the later part of me filming it today on a Monday. Tuesday you get the Madifies, and Wednesday you get the main episode. So that's how it goes, you know what I mean? So thank you so much for joining me today. Big up all those in the chat room. Enough respects to you. I'll be back another time, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Stay tuned for more.